particular issue. If you've been following what has been going on social media, you realize that it is indeed a sad day in the history of America. I'm saying this in all reference to a particular young man who is a very staunch conservative. His name is Charlie Kirk. Personally, me myself, I've been following him for a lot of, for the past 4 or 5 years, since the inception of Donald Trump. And he's a young person who co-founded the Turning Point US. So basically, in the United States of America, for those of you who don't know, they basically have a two-party system, even though the other parties, the main party system is the Republican and also the Democrat. And the Democrat believe that you should be free to do whatever you want. You should be free to marry whoever you want. And also, they also believe that certain things like guns in the hands of people is not really right. So they call for gun control. Repeal the Second Amendment, which allows people to carry and bear arms in the United States of America. On the Republican side, which houses His Excellency U.S. President Donald Trump, they believe or share conservative values. The conservative values is free speech. The conservative values, some of the conservative values is pro-guns, own a gun. Some of the conservative values is be able to practice your faith. Anti-abortion, they are against abortion, they are against LGBT and other stuff. And one person who have actually pioneered this particular kind of belief and message is this particular young man that I'm talking about, Charlie Kirk. But then over the course of this particular week, we saw that he was assassinated in Utah, a state in the United States of America. And then quickly he was rushed to the hospital, but then he was in critical condition. And during surgery, what we realized was that he succumbed to his injuries and then he died. But then fast track today, the FBI started tracking his killer, and then information we are getting now indicates that the killer have apparently been apprehended. Now I'll be giving you back-to-back updates as to what really did happen and how the killer was even arrested. But we are getting full details according to CNN that the killer is a 22-year-old Utah student. Okay, Utah is one of the states in the United States of America, and apparently he was the person who shot Charlie Kirk. And what was his argument? Charlie Kirk was a person who held a different belief or who held a different opinion, and that he believed that Charlie Kirk was a person who was sowing hate and division in the United States of America. Now, we'll be putting some few things on the screens, because this particular few things that we put on the screens, it kind of shows exactly where we are heading and how this particular man, who was a vibrant 31-year-old man, was just assassinated in front of the United States of America, whilst the whole world was watching him debate people who had varying opinions. Now, according to the United States of America, according to the FBI, we are learning exclusively that the person who actually committed this atrocity have been arrested. His name, the person who actually committed this crime, his name is Tyler Robbins. So we'll be putting some few things on the screen for you to see. These particular things that we'll be putting on the screens actually detailed the person who apparently took the life of this particular man, and it's so sad. And we're also learning, according to fresh details coming in, kind of suggests that the man, the suspect who apparently killed Charlie Kirk, or who shot Charlie Kirk in the neck, and Charlie Kirk actually lost his life. His parents actually were the people who said the picture circulating that this particular person is a suspect. We believe this particular person is our son. So they actually confronted their child. Their child actually said that he's not going to turn in. He would rather die than rather turn in and say he killed Charlie Kirk, because he believed that Charlie Kirk held a different belief. Ultimately, the parents convinced him to turn himself in, and now we can confirm that he is in custody. So for those of you who don't know this particular suspect, let's put this on the screen. As you can see on the screens, it says Charlie Kirk's alleged shooter has been identified as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. He was turned into authorities by his own father. So this is the young man who apparently, his argument was that Charlie Kirk debates people, and Charlie Kirk was winning too many debates, and he believed that Charlie Kirk was spreading hate, telling people to believe in God, saying that killing a baby or having an abortion is against God's will, and all of. So all of these basic things basically kind of suggest that he had the belief that Charlie Kirk was actually spreading hate and division in the world. And ultimately what we saw was that he was murdered by this particular man. For those of you who don't know exactly what is really going on, we'll also be showing a video, because in the wake of his passing, there are lots of misconception and a whole lot of reaction. People are sharing their views, and people are questioning why Charlie Kirk should be assassinated, or if he was assassinated, was it part of his doing or not? So we'll be putting some few videos on the screens for you to see. And this was a man who debated people, and I think in one of these particular videos we'll also show how effective Charlie Kirk was, in terms of debating. I think we'll put this particular video on the screen. Charlie Kirk was so much effective in debating. So for those of you who never got a chance to follow him, you will see this was one of the best moments. This particular video will be showing on the screens, or we put it on the screen, we play on the screen very, very soon. You realize that this was one of the best moments that Charlie Kirk had when he debated a father and a son. So the father was a conservative who did not believe, was a liberal who really did not have any faith in God, and had his own belief that Trump was actually was not a good person to lead a country. And his son, on the other hand, had a belief that God exists, and he had a belief that Trump was actually the right person to lead the country. This is some of the fondest moments of Charlie Kirk, and then I'd like us to watch this particular video. When we come back, definitely there is more to talk about, because the world is actually grieving a young, brilliant guy, and many are even of the view that if this guy had lived to like 50 or 40, he could have been the president of the United States.
Hello guys, my name is Joey. I brought my father with me. He's a very liberal father.
Our family's divided. We're divided the same way the nation is divided.
I'm conservative, by the way.
Will anything ever be remedied? A nation divided against itself will not stand, neither will a family divided against itself.
Why do you think your son is conservative?
I have no clue. I'll let him answer that question.
That's a bad answer. Hold on a second. You as a father should listen to your son.
I listen to him all the time.
Hold on, but then you just said you don't know.
I don't know where he went so bad. I mean, come on. It's like, I don't know where he went wrong. I don't know how he went off the rails.
Would the smarter of the two like to chime in here?
Yeah. Absolutely. So I used to be at one point on my father's side. Upon doing my own research and seeing things firsthand, I've switched sides. We talk every day about politics to the point where it's divided us. And so for him to say that he does not know where I stand is
so. Let me ask you: do you think that maybe he wants to believe government will do good? Maybe that's
of course. Okay.
Good. Now maybe your son is going more conservative because he thinks government hasn't done a lot of good. Is that maybe a fair charitable interpretation?
That makes relative sense.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Here's what I'll just say in closing, guys. Never let politics get in the way of the beautiful relationship between father and son. My advice first is for the son to the father, understand he comes from a different generational perspective. He thinks government is probably a good force. Now your son, understandably, is seeing it harder than ever to own a home. He's seen a border wide open. He's seen lies from politicians. He's seen the enrichment of the ruling class. And instead of interrupting and want to get in an edge, smartly be like, maybe my son is processing a way that I might not agree with, but he...
Okay, so that was Charlie Kirk, and this is one of the videos that actually made him stood out. He had different opinions, but then when a father and a son, one is a conservative, one is a liberal, like NDC, MPP here in Ghana, okay, two-party system, he debating them, or when both of them came up to him, he told them, both of you are right to believe in whatever you believe, and you guys should just share the love. And no matter what, don't let politics get in between yourself and your child. And I think that is the message that should be taken. You know, everyone's end will come. One day, me, myself, I will die. But then at the end of the day, what will be the message that I'll preach? Or what will be the lesson that will be... I don't know how to put it. What will people learn from me? And basically, the legacy that I've left, or whatever I'm preaching, what will be the core value or some advice that people will take in all my life, or perhaps all my doings on earth? People will just sum it up, say, oh, Papa, you know, when he was alive, his actions A, B, C, D said that you can achieve this, or it showed that just, have love for all other persons. And Charlie's message to the world was that no matter the division or perhaps the difference of opinions, always show love, and always make sure that the politics division will not come between yourself, your wife, between yourself and your wife, yourself and your brothers and your family members, or even your loved ones or your colleague. We can have different opinions and still coexist. May his soul rest in perfect peace. We'll be ending this live with this particular video. Once again, thank you so much for
Charlie
watching.
Kirk was not killed because he was conservative.